Hello, sleepers and singer-songwriters. My name is TV Skyn, and welcome back to the boss designs of Elden Ring. Now, from your perspective... Actually, knowing past Skyn, I shouldn't make any promises. I was about to say, from your perspective, it might not have been very long since the last time you saw me running around the lands between, but knowing past Skyn, it could be anywhere from 2 weeks to 6 months between when he actually gets around to releasing the goddamn videos, so who knows? But, for me, playing the game right now, it has actually been a long while since I have inhabited this particular Elden Ring character, because it's been some years since I started recording this thing right around the time of the release of the game, and now it is the beginning of 2025, as I'm finally getting around to playing more of the game, after having gotten as far as I did into, at this point, Ranni's questline is the one I'm most interested in following up on a little bit. And there's been a whole bunch of lovely new quality of life features. Hey, look! We know that Ranni the Witch is here now. It says so on the map. And then down here is Celavis hanging out. And other characters in other places. And there's a tab in my inventory that tells me what is the most of the stuff that I got the most recently. Which is lovely. I don't know if it works with an old save necessarily perfectly in terms of chronology. Or I think it does. I think it does, actually. But, you know... Oh, right. We still have the potion. Celavis is still waiting for us to do the thing with the potion. Right, well, I would love to disappoint him. I don't remember if the lady he wants, her name of whatever it is here at Round Table Hold. But since this is not a blind playthrough, I also happen to know that there are ways to deal with that quest line without having to be a piece of shit.
Journey to the capital, Leyndell, to the east of the Altus Plateau, at the foot of the Erd Tree. The Two Fingers will do you, maybe.
Hey, I got this potion from a dude who's really weird and even creepier than you.
Is that potion what I think it is? Bloody Celavis. I suppose he's up to something again. Oh, I won't interfere. You go ahead and do what you must. The Round Table has no code to speak of. But I ask you this. Are you really going to do the bidding of that twisted dolly botherer?
No.
Or would you rather hand that potion to me and see if we can't get one over on the bastard? Good. I'll dispose of the potion myself. You go and see Celavis, but don't give anything away. Just tell him that you tricked your mark into drinking the potion, as planned. Despite knowing next to bloody nothing, he's so far up his own arse he won't suspect a thing. His inevitable display of arrogance will certainly be a sight to behold.
Very good. That is that dealt with. And with that out of the way, maybe we can get Celavis to tell us something that's actually bloody useful. Oh, you're still here. Hi, how are you doing?
I asked you not to disturb me. Be thankful of the hold serenity. It is all that keeps your death and defilement at bay.
Ah, come at me, buddy. Come at me. Do you not see, sir? Do you not observe, sir, the sheer size of my sword? Do you not see it? I think I see it. I don't think you see it. I see it. And I think we both know how that's going to go for you. Round Table Hold. Oh, right. D is dead. That happened. We should probably follow up on that. Roger, are you... Oh. Oh. Well, what's a bit of corpse robbing between friends? Yeah, Deathblight. Ah, poor guy. I forgot to tell you, but it seems Dee has a younger brother. I heard he sleeps deep in the aqueduct besides the eternal city of Nokron, and it said he stood before the Prince of Death not far beyond that spot. Well, I guess we'll go and see about him. Roger spent his entire life behaving with utter detachment. No one noticed the anger, grief, regret, or fear that existed alongside it. Cool. Well, it is often the fate of those who pursue mysteries to be consumed by them. Anyway, Celavis, you slimy piece of shit. I have definitely done exactly what it was that you asked me to do. That's what I did. I did the thing you wanted me to, and definitely not anything else.
Ah, so you made Nefeli drink the potion.
Nefeli, that's her name.
Well done. You are a touch more useful than I had thought. Very well. Then you shall have your gift. Knowledge of the sorcerous arts under the tutelage of the great preceptor Celavis. I doubt much of it will lay within the grasp of a mere tarnished, but if you put your mind to it, perhaps you won't embarrass our lady.
Oh, nice. Anyway.
You wish to begin right this moment? Well, your impatience, though boorish, is understandable. Let's have at it.
No, help me get to fucking Nokron.
So, you had Nefeli drink the potion? Truly? Then perhaps something was amiss with it. It's concocted from the finest ingredients, but perhaps I should review the recipe. I may have expected too much of her to begin with.
Oh my god. Just the way that he's like, huh? Well, you fed it to a woman, it's probably her fault. Like, come on, man! I know you're a creep, but there has to be limits. Jesus.
You break into a man's private chambers, rooting about as you please. Your oafishness knows no bounds. Fine and well. You tricked Nefeli and had her drink the potion. I believe that makes you my accomplice.
Sure!
You yearn for a puppet of your own?
No.
Well, normally one of your stature would never be allowed. But perhaps I can make a very special exception. Now, choose.
No thank you, actually. Oh, hey, it's... oh, I didn't know he copied his character design from an in-game character. Spirit of a man who wished to become the innards of a living jar. A jar-hurling specialist who throws all manners of pots and jars. The warrior jar once told the nameless man this: "You are not yet ready to join the warriors inside. No, you must apply yourself, better yourself, and one day I will return for you." The finger maiden. You killed a finger maiden, dude? Jesus. Spirit of finger maiden who never met the tarnished she was meant to guide. That... it would be... Wouldn't it be spectacular if this was the goddamn finger maiden that we were supposed to have? And Celavis is the reason why we woke up maidenless? Wouldn't that be something? I don't know that there's any evidence to suggest that, but still. Spirit of a finger maiden who never met the tarnish she was meant to guide. Uses healing incantations and holy water pots, but she's not a fighter by nature and ill-suited to battle. A maiden without a tarnished without a maiden, and yet no guide to bring them together. No thank you. I guess he thinks I'm his accomplice now, so that's cool. That's wonderful. I just love being his accomplice. Do I get to kill him at some point? I'd like to get to kill him at some point. It's not a blind run, but I have done my best not to just simply, you know, get told the ending of all the quest lines. I have a helper now who helps me get the freeze frame, like the sort of turnarounds and like free camera move footage for some of the episodes. I had them record a bunch of footage of Ranni and her library, because the fact that Ranni is doing so much research, right? Like this is something that's true of all sorcerer towers, right? Like there's always, oh hey, I'm not sure the extent to which, like the sheer number of books in Ranni's library, the sheer number that's just scattered around, the extent to which that is unusual for a sorcerer tower, or whether that's just what all of them look like, because they all kind of have this like library thing going on. Karia has the same thing. So I'm not 100% sure how much it says about her. I do think the fact that she's sitting on a stack of books. Yeah. It does say something like as a gesture of the character. It feels like this environment is saying, like, this is someone who has studied and studied and studied and researched and researched and researched, and, like, that she has come to her conclusions about what should be done about the world through, like, a period of what she would consider rational consideration. That's my read on Ranni, anyway, is that, like, the reason why she's doing what she's doing, why she's, like, concocting the scheme that she's concocting, it's not just, well, I want to be, you know, the one in charge. I want to take power. I think that might be part of it, that she wants and thinks that she deserves power. But I think it's also that she has gone through, like, a period of extensive research and, like, has decided that the evidence that she knows justifies what she has decided to do. Now, if only I could remember why I put these markers here. Well, I know that one, because that's a cave where there might be some crafting materials, but what's that one? The perils of not playing a save for years. So Selen's other body is... We still haven't solved the mystery of what the f*** going on there, by the way. Selen's body's there, but then it's also here. And that, I don't quite understand what's up with that. Well, I kind of want to pursue Ranni's questline right now. The trouble is, no one has told me how to get into Nokron yet. E.g., do you have any bright ideas?
Greetings.
About Nokron, thank you.
I take it you've heard of the eternal city of Nokstella? Well, it has a twin, known as Nokron, the other eternal city. After years of expeditions, we've determined the location of Nokron by going underground through the well in the Mistwood of Limgrave. You can see Nokron up above.
This I knew.
Only we've failed to find a path leading to the city.
Yes?
Blythe's made a good go of it, but I'm afraid this has him quite stumped. To be honest, I'm not sure where to go from here.
Well, okay. So that was less useful than I'd hoped.
Blythe is Lady Ranni's stepbrother.
Oh.
Ranni's mother, Queen Renala, approved of him, and they played like siblings from childhood. They were always happy to have me tag along as well.
Oh.
When Lady Ranni renounced her flesh and chose the dark path of the Empyrean, Blythe and I swore allegiance as vassals. But none of us will ever forget our earliest days together. Promise to look after Blythe for me, will you? The man is honest to a fault. But fortunately, now he has you.
Are you shipping us a little bit there, E.G.?
I take it you've heard well. After years by going
Okay,
only,
well, nothing new there.
Blythe's
I hadn't heard of
honest.
the Eternal City of Nokstella, by the way. That was, that's new information to me. So I don't know where you take that from, but, you know, fair enough. Okay, so where is Blythe right now? Because where would he have gone now? I mean, obviously I can't have a marker on him if I haven't met him where he is at that point, so... And then there's Caelid. I gotta say, I still feel underleveled for Caelid. Nasty critters up there, but maybe that's the place to go, because, like, that feels more like its own self-contained section over here, whereas going north towards the Great Erdtree feels like progressing a little much. Did I not get the whetstone thing from the camp all the way back at the beginning in this save? Yes, maybe I didn't? I should go check that. This is why I love big weapons. Nope. Ah, so satisfying. Oh, hey. Leave me alone, please. I haven't been here. Well, that explains something. Oh, there's a couple of other things, because I have been playing... Like, I've not been playing anywhere past where I am in Elden Ring. I haven't gone ahead in any other save, but I have loaded up a few other saves to try stuff like the Samurai class, because I wanted to try Bleed. So I've run into a couple of things in the early game that I don't think I did with this version of my of the character, and there's an NPC somewhere over here.
Oi. You there?
Yeah.
Could you help us out, Cully?
I believe you are that one. Hey, buddy.
What'd you go and do that for? Oh, yes. I remember. Some clod turned me into a tree. You were just breaking the spell, weren't you? Thank you. The name's Boc. I was pushed out of the cave. Told not to come back. Not ever. Then I ended up as a tree.
Relatable.
Lucky you came along, really.
Happens to the best of us, buddy.
Oh, what a shame. When they threw me out of the cave, they took everything I owned. And so this is all I have to express my thanks. I hope you can forgive me. Or, well, if you can afford to wait for a while, I could sneak back into the cave and bring back something of actual value. Well, then I'd be of some real use to you, I reckon. Right, but I'll need a moment. I'm frightened of them. So I have to gather myself. My knees start knocking, just thinking about that god-awful cave on the shore.
I think if we refresh him by doing this, he's gonna go away. Oh, okay. Is he not there anymore? Boc, little fella, you didn't go to the cave, did you? I've never followed his quest line. Like I said, I've been playing other saves, but because this was like, oh, this is a quest line I've not actually discovered, I never actually advanced it, so I don't know where the hell he's gone now. Oh, hey! There he is.
It hurts. Oh. What are you doing here? You must leave this place at once. They'll rush in and beat you to a pulp.
Nah.
You'll end up just like me.
I think I'll be good. Give the sewing needle. Sure.
Wait. Is that what I think it is? You got it back for me. My sewing needle. What made you go and do a thing like that? My mum was a seamstress, and that sewing kit was all I had to remember her by. I always wanted to be just like sweet old mum. Then I suppose I can't just curl up and die, can I? Thank you. You're very kind. I always wanted to be a seamster like my mum. Then
That's right, buddy. And he's off again. Didn't expect Tree. I'll applaud that. Okay, now where has he just gone back to where he was, or? Well, okay, he's somewhere. Somewhere over the rainbow. I don't suppose I get a marker for him. Okay, well, I don't know that I have the patience to go and find him. I just want to see him. But what it was the jar white that the Celivis was selling had the text about the warrior jar, and that reminded me that I know about Alexander. I know about him. Don't know where he is. And I don't know if I've progressed so far in the game that I can no longer find him or something. But I know about Alexander. Like, he was in the teasers way back when, I even think. And I really want to meet him. But I have no idea where the fella might be.
Unthinkable, our hallowed resting place is violated. To refuse the Erdtree's call to return, to live within death. Sickening!
Oh man, it's a boomer. Fine, I'll go see. I am nothing if not distractible. Plus, maybe there's some ghost glove, grave glove, grave, the grave worths. Some of those things that I need to upgrade spirits with, so I could maybe upgrade Lutel. That would be nice. Oh. Wait, a Black Knife Assassin? At quite low health, and not nearly as agile as they usually are. Wait, are you damaged? Are you like a half-dead? Hey, friend. Honestly, I'm kind of cool with you killing the gods. It's not really a problem for me. So, like, if you just want to let this one go, if I could just, like, have the chest and... But we don't have... Okay, well, sure. As you wish. Oh, still pretty agile. But yeah, definitely damaged. Right? Like, has definitely taken a bunch of hurt. Doesn't have the agility of their compatriots. Interesting. Doesn't do bleed either. Critical hits restore HP. This charm is modeled after the darkly gleaming blades used in the Night of the Black Knives, those which gave the demigods their first taste of death. Huh. That Black Knife Assassin was hiding out here. There's a death root, so it wasn't a mariner. Oh, resin secreted from the roots of the Great Tree can also be found in the surface, trees on the surface. The roots of the Great Tree were once linked to those of the Erd Tree, or so they say, and it is for this reason that catacombs are built around Great Tree roots. What's the Great Tree? Was there another tree before the Erd? Huh. Because right now it's definitely Erd Tree roots that are penetrating into the catacombs down here. So, if that's like a different god tree of some sort that used to hold sway here, but then the Erd Tree replaced it, that would be a bit of interesting world building. Yeah, it is a bit of interesting world building past Skyen. It's not enough that I want to do a full analysis segment on it, at least not yet until we maybe encounter the Great Tree. Is it anywhere in the lands between? Don't tell me in the comments, I want to find out myself, but I'm curious. I will note that this is yet another puzzle piece that points towards a fundamentally cyclical, or some might say ring-like, structure to the history of the lands between. Just as the Dragonkin soldier suggests that there was an order of knights sworn to a round table before the Tarnished of the Round Table Hold came along, there was a Great Tree before the Erd Tree. And it sort of sounds like the Erd Tree might have parasitized that tree, or straight up replaced it, even. Given that the catacombs used to be built into the roots of the Great Tree, perhaps even the ritual of feeding the dead to the roots of a great tree is something which the Golden Order did not invent, but which they simply adopted and integrated when they took over or conquered whatever culture came before them. We have reached this conclusion already, but the Golden Order's rhetoric that it is eternal, that it is the divine mandate of the divine will, that it is a fundamental state of nature from which deviance is unnatural, that is clearly a lie. It's propaganda. There have been other orders before it, and now that it has been mortally wounded by the Shattering, the question isn't whether something will come after it, but what. Hey, so even more Future Skyne jumping in here with a note, because a few people brought this up while the video was in early access. Join my Patreon, by the way, you can get early access to these episodes. People brought up that the Great Tree Resin and its item description and references to the Great Tree in Elden Ring are sometimes discussed in the community as mistranslations, as the result of translators misinterpreting some part of the original Japanese text. Now, I don't speak a word of Japanese, so I can't really judge that, but my general philosophy with this series is that I try to analyze the game that I am actually playing, and not a hypothetical game that might have existed if it had been translated differently. I'm playing the English localization of Elden Ring, and if it talks about a great tree, then I'm going to incorporate that idea into my understanding of what the game is saying, because regardless of how the great tree got there, now that it is here, it is part of what this version of the text is saying. Now, you absolutely can interpret a game like Elden Ring through the lens of authorial intent, where the focus is on trying to get as close as possible to the exact specifics of what the authors and designers were intending to say. And those discussions are also interesting and worthwhile, but it's not what I am doing. Since I can't read the original Japanese text, all I can do is engage with the text that's in front of me, and that text includes the Great Tree. Okay, well, because I know I've run around over here. Yeah, Alright, I'm gonna have to ask chat for a hint, right? Give me just a hint as to where Alexander might be. Just a hint, don't tell me directly, just, give me the direction. He's to the east, and they're saying probably in Caelid. Okay, Caelid then. Well, I guess that makes the decision for me. Let's see if we can survive in Caelid now. Ah, there's a finger reader here. Do you have anything interesting or useful to say? And a binocular, cool.
You... please, you...
Sure.
Oh, bless you.
Oh, please don't sound so excited about it.
Are you one for festivals or flowers? To the south, a grand festival to make the stars turn. To the east, the heart and bud of a flower to be. But dare you enter into the heart of the scarlet rot?
Guess we'll find out. Festival sounds fun, though. Probably something horrifying, but you know. Wait, to make the stars turn. So is this... oh, that... right, of course. No, that's what... What's happening? Oh, they were just having an orgasm. Okay, well... out in public like that, bold. It'll be where Radahn's boss fight is, because he's the Starscourge. That'll be what that is, probably. It's a cool hat, but it doesn't leave mushroom for anything else on his head. Oh, come on! That was a good pun! I'm good. I'm good, guys. You can just do your thing. Don't shoot homing missiles at me, please. Leave me alone. Oh, I can level up. Good. Health, please. There's a map somewhere down along the road here as well, which is nice. Oh, I thought that was like a little mound or something. Oh, okay. Hi, you spew scarlet rot, I imagine. Yeah? Yeah, you know what? You can just go back to sleep. You just do your thing, buddy. Really only here for the map.
Buying or selling?
Cookbook. Thanks, buddy. Okay. Okay, then. Which way, tarnished man? Like, this way leads to that castle town over there. Let's start there. Alexander, are you here anywhere? You have red eyes. Oh, you all have red eyes. Oh, that's a lot of red eyes. No, 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 no. Please leave me alone. Yes, fight the soldiers. That's better. I like that. That's vastly preferable. Oh, they're clearing them out. I see. Well, I wish you best of luck, fellas. Impassable Great Bridge. Okay. That gives me pause. Because it looks very passable, sort of on immediate, on initial inspection. I mean, something has to happen, right, at some point? What do you mean impassable? That was the most passable thing I've ever passed. Impassable great. I was all charged up. I was ready for like dragon to land, for the bridge to blow up. I was here like, oh my god, something's gonna happen. What's gonna happen? What's gonna call, apparently. Were they just relying on, like, marketing? It's like, no, the bridge is impassable. You shouldn't even try. And everyone's just like, oh, yeah, no, I guess we won't try. I mean, great way to defend your fortress, I guess. Like, what do you mean, impassable? Wait, I've been here before. Haven't I? Didn't I ride all the way out here when I came to Caelid first time? I think I did. I think I rode all the way out here, and then this is the point where I was like, oh, this is too far. I'm going back home. I think I did, if I remember correctly. Jesus, it's been years. Oh, no, yeah. I've been here. So I guess whatever was supposed to make the bridge impassable happened to me back then, and it doesn't respawn. Alright then. Well, since we're here... Okay. Oh, wait, that's a... Oh, that's a crone. Okay. Damn it! On the ground, please. Darn it. Okay. Stairs. Oh, come on! Really? I went all the way around? I went all the way around and all you get is this does not open from this side? Fine. Ladder, then. I'd give my life, not for honor, but for you. In my time, there'll be no one else crime. It's the way I fly to you. Blah, little off key there. Redmane Castle. Who's playing Halo? Am I gonna have to fight Master Chief? Is that what this is? Walk into arena is like, sir, finishing the fight. So this music must be... Is this diegetic then? Is there a choir somewhere singing, actually? Is that just what people in this castle do at that time? I'm just kind of vibing with this music, man. Are you the guy singing? The harmonies are pretty solid, I'm not gonna lie. Albeit, less with the stabbing, please. Ow. Stop that. Don't know that I could survive that fall. Teleportation gate over there. I can't make it over there. Okay. Ugh. Where's that lead? More importantly, could I get back from there? The music makes this place feel like it's something special is about to happen here. Kind of real ominous, to be quite honest. But hey, there's a grace. Blythe! There you are! Yeah, these must be the guys who are singing then. Are you a finger maiden? Okay.
Champions! Welcome! The stars have aligned. The festival is nigh. General Radahn.
It was Radahn.
This demigod of the shattering awaits you. Champions, prepare for battle. Defeat the general, claim glory, and grab that great rune. A celebration of war. The Radahn Festival!
Cool. There he is.
Ah, if it isn't a tarnished warrior. I am the warrior Jar, Iron Fist Alexander. The pleasure is mine. Do you know for whom this festival is being held? Well, it is none other than General Radahn himself.
Oh, I didn't catch that.
I could face a great champion of the Shattering, a demigod in the flesh. Oh, gosh. In truth, I quiver at the thought. Such is his frightful repute. But the fear simply assures me the ordeal is worth undertaking. Be sure to get a good vantage, my friend. I, Iron Fist Alexander, do hereby vow to unflinchingly brave this ordeal. Be sure to get a good bye.
There he is. Okay, well, I haven't missed out on his questline completely then, whatever it is. And there's a couple of summoned spirits hanging around. Can I talk to you guys, or are you just, like, ghosting it? Just ghosting it. Okay. I like you. You look fun. Blythe will save for last. Just want to make sure I'm talking to everyone else who's here. Whoever that may be. If anyone at all. Is that all? It's like lady giving me the silent treatment, my furry friend, and a big guy who's spoiling for a fight. I've been to parties like that. Hey, buddy!
Ah, there you are. Took your sweet time. The players are all made up and waiting for the curtain. Let's give them a show to remember, eh? Just don't you go dying on me. For Ronnie's sake, too. Into the fray together, eh? Let's see what you're made of.
Okay, there isn't anyone else here. You don't have the right. I don't know. Seems like I'm good, actually. Hey, buddy. Who the hell are you?
Are you good and prepared, young chum? The festival begins. I see. When you are ready.
Okay, I'll just hang on a second. Nice clothes. Landsknecht. Even got the flambert. Oh, that's one of those star observation sundial things. Still no Elden Ring. Indeed. Big question is whether my gear and my stats are up to fighting Radahn at all. But you know what? I've taken on bosses with way too little in my stat line before. I don't mind throwing myself at something a couple of dozen times.
Are you good in the festival? Before we begin, allow me to paint you the full picture. General Radahn is cursed ever to wander. Eaten from the inside by Melania's scarlet rot, his wits are long gone. Now he gathers the corpses of former friends and foes alike, gorging on them like a dog. Howling at the sky. But now, we must make merry. O gathering of champions, the revels begin! The celebration of war! The Radahn Festival! You will find the field of battle past the church ahead, upon the shore under the fort. General Radahn is there, even now, divested of his wits, devouring corpses, and howling at the sky.
Again, I've been to parties like that. Huh. No escape now, huh?
Into the fray together.
Nothing new there.
Be sure to... Aye.
Nothing new there. Fair enough. Let's rack up that death counter a little bit, shall we? Thanks, buddy. Are those banners? I guess they are. Oh, there goes the choir. I wonder what the deal is with that ship out there. Poetic image, isn't it? A ship run aground. Could be it's a thematic thing. A little... a sly little bit of commentary. Ah. Okay, then. Oh, there he is. Hell! Okay, judging the timing on that is a little bit... Okay, so I can summon plenty for this. Whoa! Can I... Oh, torrent! Oh, thank God. Okay. Who can I summon? Who's here? I would be ever so obliged. Okay. Oh, Jesus Christ! I see. It's gonna be one of those, is it? Listen, there was no way I was gonna do this without summoning Blythe. Okay! Hey, Dip! Draw your swords, asshole! Okay. Oh, okay. Probably shouldn't have done that. I'm fine, I'm fine, I'm fine, I'm fine. Fuck me. That's definitely going to be a two-parter, yeah. Give me the crit, give me the crit! Ah, son of a bitch. Can I chill you? You with the It is the thing I hate the most. It's the delay, right? It's the, I'm gonna hit you, I'm gonna hit you, I'm gonna hit you, I'm gonna hit you. Oh, you son of a bitch. Okay, alright, motherfucker. A man of infinite combo, I see. I'm not gonna make it. Ah, son of a bitch. Okay. Give me the crit, give me the crit! Oh, for f***'s sake! Alright, we'll be here a while. One thing's for damn sure, I'm not fighting him without Blythe. Draw your swords, asswipe. Problem with fighting him up close is you can't see what the f he's doing. The crit, finally. That's satisfying, at least. Okay. There he is. Did he bring his horse up there with him? Okay, he's got his little meteors now. Would you stand still for like 2 seconds, you stupid piece of shit? Whoa! Oh, it's multi-part. Okay. All right. Well, just you and me now, buddy. As I try to avoid overconfidencing myself to death. There we go! Q! Was that the star that Radahn was holding back? Did I just kill the dinosaurs? Bloody hell. The Red Lion General wielded gravitational powers which he learned in Celia during his younger days. All so he would never have to abandon his beloved but scrawny steed. Oh, that's kind of sweet. That's the reason why the horse is barely able to carry him. He uses gravity magic to make himself lighter. Oh, that's genuinely kind of sweet. Okay, yeah, just need my heart rate to come down after that one. I wonder the extent to which you can take advantage of his arena. Like, would those pillars block anything he does? I don't suppose there's anything in terms of hidden treasures or dungeons or things or stuff or items or thingamabobs or doodads, doobly-doos, dingle-hoppers, scrooba-chongers. Anything? He doesn't have any feet. Huh. And you fight him in a desolate desert. And he has no feet. Is that what you were going for, FromSoft? Is that, well, I'll leave that up to Future Skyne. I don't think there were any runes in my corpse back there. But just out of principle, so it doesn't annoy me. The other thing I want to do while I'm out here... I don't suspect there's any way to get to that ship, but I do want to get as close as I can just to take a look. It'd be very funny if you could bait Radahn when he comes down with, like, his meteor strike thing. If you could bait him into just landing in the water. Splash by off the infinite cliff of the continent. Okay, so it's not that relevant. It is as what you might expect, which is a fairly low resolution, low detail model, mostly meant to just hang out in the skybox. No! I pressed B. I pressed B to cancel out of the binoculars. Well, let's just go get those runes back. Let's just go get those runes back, shall we? Oh, hey, there's a Grace out here. Yo, Alexander?
Ah, hello there. It was a battle marvelously fought. You are well and truly a champion, friend. I, on the other hand, am nothing but a crock. One hit was all it took to crack me, and for my insides to come spilling out. After that, I hid like a coward. And as such, I can hardly stand to face one such as you.
Yo, Alex, enough with the self-talk. It took me kind of a couple of tries to get him, too.
But don't you think I've given up just yet. As luck would have it, There's a veritable mountain of warriors' bodies right here. If I can just squeeze this bunch down inside me, I'll be a mighty warrior again in no time. And you know, the bodies found here are exceedingly fine. Who could expect any less from the very warriors who fought in the Shattering? The greatest of all wars. Just you wait and see, friend. I'll grow even stronger. Just you wait when next we meet. The bodies found here are exceedingly fine. Who could expect any... Just you wait.
Okay, then.
Ah, good. I was waiting for you. Oh, what a sick way to fight, eh? The glory of the clash is shared. By Radahn. And you. And did you see that afterwards? A falling star right before our eyes. I can't fathom how Radahn was holding back something of that scale. He was a living legend if ever I saw one. And the path has now been cleared. To Nokron, where Ranni's fate will be decided. Let's meet where the falling star bit the earth. We'll take up our swords once more. For Mistress Ranni. Let's meet where the fall will go into. My only purpose is to fight for Ranni's fate, sword and fang. The curtain's rising. On the final act.
Well, that sounds ominous and final. Anyone else hanging around here? Now that the area got reset by... Something happened. I'm not sure what happened. Something happened to reset the area. We don't have to dwell on it. It's not important what happened. The important thing is we're back together again. We had a chat. That was lovely. So don't worry about why. It's some... just, I don't know, glitch happened in the game? Probably. Thank you. And now they're gone again. The reason I'm curious about that ship, by the way, there's a few of these wrecked ships off the coast of the lands between. And then there's those who live in death being associated with the sea. There's something there. I'm pretty sure there's something there. I guess those guys are still here. But what about the fella up there? Can I follow up with him at all? Like, are you in the church or something? Hey, there you are. Hey, buddy.
At last, the war festival has ended. Brave champion, you have our gratitude. The celebration was spectacular. General Radahn is surely pleased. Festering with rot and crippled by madness, all he wanted was an honorable death.
Well, happy to have provided for him, eventually.
Finally, my work is done. I'm no longer bound to this fortress. I have a task in mind. Old business, you could say. You wouldn't understand.
Try me.
May we meet again, if the fates deign it. Brave champion. It's time I went on my way. May we meet again.
Guess it's closed off now. Yeah. Makes sense. Okay. Let's go see what Radahn has in his remembrance. Usually that gear gives you some lore, right? So... Hey, lady, I did a thing. Helm of the Golden Lion with flowing red hair, worn by General Radahn. Radahn inherited the furious flaming hair of his father Radahn, and is fond of its heroic implications. I was born a champion's cub. Now I am the Lord of the Battlefield's Lion. That's a terrible title, my guy. You should workshop that. There's some Radahn spears. His armor. The Golden Lion is said to symbolize Godfrey, the first Elden Lord, and his beast regent Sergosh. From his youngest years, Radahn was naturally captivated by the Lord of the Battlefield. Curved great swords of black steel wielded by General Radahn, a pair of weapons decorated with a lion mane motif. Radahn earned considerable renown as the Starscourge in his youth, and it is said that during this time he engraved the gravity crest upon these blades. Imbued with the gravitational power of the Starscourge, when used along with Radahn's spear, it becomes the true weapon of a champion. And that gives you the rain thing. I have to level intelligence with 5 levels to try these out for real, and I need a lot more strength. But, like, that's... Ooh. Do I want that, or do I want the runes? I think I know what I want. Now, I don't have the stats to properly wield it, but... I mean... You can't tell me that this isn't fashion. You can't tell me that this doesn't look pretty good. Like... That's not a half bad... I need some better pants, though. Like, I need some pants that are, like, darker and more menacing, but... This is kind of a look. Okay, well, alright. Where did that star land? Oh. Down there. Well. I guess Kenneth Haidt got himself a bit of a shock. Hope the shockwave didn't kill him. Alright then. Well. With General Radahn and his vast and feetless trunks now dead in the sand outside of Caelid, apparently the road to Nokron has opened up. Rather, through an application of blunt force, but hey, you know, I'll take it. So, let's see if Future Scan has anything to say about all of this. Any smart thoughts there, Thinky Boy? Yeah, you know what, Pascine? No, actually. Okay, alright, I'll quell my instinct for spite. Let's look at Radahn's character design, which is not conceptually all that complicated, actually. For example, Radahn is huge. This is the single most basic trick of all video game boss character design. Bosses are made bigger than the player, so you get more of a sense of being an underdog, and to make it that much more exhilarating to win. And despite his now shabby and rotted state, he is also still quite fancy. He wears elaborate golden bronze armor with the heads of lions on his shoulders and helmet and a great mane upon his chest. He wears scale mail and thick woolen gauntlets. He wears a fine stately cloak, and even his poor horse, Leonard, still wears a finely crafted thick leather saddle and an ornate warhorse's mask that must, once upon a time, have looked quite beautiful. He looks, in a word, expensive. He looks fierce, warlike, and powerful, but also, and I'm using big air quotes here, civilized. He's dressed in the expensive finery that only empire and conquest can provide. His bow plays into this a little bit too, I think. It speaks to him not just as a warrior, but as a master of war. Someone who has learned both the brutal art of close combat and the careful, considered skill of the marksman. Ditto his use of magic, by the way. It shows that Radahn isn't just a brute swinging swords around with his overwhelming strength, but a man of intellect, someone who has a multifaceted understanding. All of this, the elaborate and expensive armor, his enormous stature, the signifiers of intellect, thematically, these also emphasize his cultural size. Radahn is the conqueror of the stars, the most legendary general who ever walked the earth, the perfect warrior. He is, both figuratively and literally, a larger-than-life character. And in the classic manner of the Souls-like, this is all meant to heighten the tragedy of him, in a manner that's not too dissimilar from Vendrick in Dark Souls 2, actually. It is design that is made full of visual reminders of the magnificence and complexity that once was, and which can never be again. Even as he is rotting and dying, his skin grey and sallow, the Radahn red mane of hair on his head remains wild and vital, a reminder of the power that he once held. This man was once a monument to the glory of the Golden Order, and now he's a grim reminder of its failure and decay. Which makes for a pretty good segue.
I met a traveler from an antique land who said, 2 vast and trunkless lakes of stone stand in the desert. Near them, on the sand, half sunk, a shattered visage lies, whose frown and wrinkled lip and sneer of cold command tell that its sculptor well those passions read, which yet survive, stamped on these lifeless things. The hand that mocked them, and the heart that fed. And on the pedestal these words appear. My name is Ozymandias, King of Kings. Look on my works, ye mighty, and despair. Nothing beside remains. Round the decay of that colossal wreck, boundless and bare, the lone and level sands stretch far away.
Percy Shelley's Ozymandias is one of the most famous sonnets in the English language, endlessly referenced, including by me, endlessly remixed, and endlessly reused for inspiration. And to be fair, that's not for no reason. Mary Shelley's husband really did do a good job of capturing in poetry the tragic and somewhat pathetic inflated self-regard of kings and empires, whose works, no matter their grandeur, cannot escape the universal destiny of dust and decay. The poem was written around 1818, at the dawn of what is sometimes called Britain's imperial century, the very height of the empire's power and reach. Britain, like many empires do, imagined itself as a sort of Rome reborn, stewards of a Pax Britannica, a worldwide peace guaranteed by imperial dominance. It was a dominance that sowed the seeds of its own destruction. The very colonialism that built the power of the empire also created the instability that would lead to its destruction. As other colonial empires, especially Germany, rushed to build their own spheres of influence, the brutal hand of imperial oppression created the conditions for resistance. The assassination of a single Austrian nobleman by a small group of radicals triggered a cascading chain of alliances and counter-alliances, igniting a global war which by its end would kill at least 15 million people. Those losses, in turn, destabilized the empires of Europe, creating the conditions not only for the rise of nationalist resistance in the colonial periphery, but also for the rise of fascism in the imperial core. It is, among other things, the rhetoric of empire, a millennia of imperial glory, that backs the politics of the Third German Reich. And before the Second Imperial World War burns out, another 60 million lives are consumed to feed its horrible fires. Look upon my works, ye mighty, and despair. It is very, very hard for me not to see Radahn as a very direct reference to Percy Shelley's poem. A direct reference, but also an ironic one. All that's left of Ozymandias is a pair of feet, trunkless legs standing in the desert. The only limbs that Radahn is missing are his feet, giving him feetless trunks. So he is an Ozymandias who has broken free from his plinth to wander. Like Ozymandias, he is a monument to an empire of past glories, the golden order that existed before the shattering. Like Ozymandias, he's a monument which is decaying, eroding slowly into nothing. And like Ozymandias, round the decay of that colossal wreck, boundless and bare, the lone and level sands stretch far away. The Golden Order rules in glory and establishes a global peace, Pax Marica, you might call it, until a single demigod noble is assassinated by a small group of radicals and it plunges the entire world into a cataclysmic war which fatally weakens and fractures the empire. This is not to say that Elden Ring is explicitly referencing the First World War, or that Godwin is supposed to be a metaphor for Franz Ferdinand, just that clearly Elden Ring reflects and is inspired by the fate of empires in the real world, and that seems to be what Radahn's themes are about here. And in that regard, it's interesting that Radahn isn't a Godric. He's not a wretched pretender desperately clawing for power, and nor is he a Margit pompously defending the Order's honor from unworthy upstarts in the name of some ideal of nobility. No, Radahn is a shipwreck, a broken hull, slowly rotting in the water. He's a symbol of past glories, but not an agent of them. He's not out here trying to rebuild the Golden Order, he's just persisting. Yet, for all that he is passive, he's certainly not neutral. A broken hull in the water still blocks the passage of better ships, and Radahn still holds back the motion of the stars. He is, almost literally, holding the world in place, stuck in the moment of his greatest triumph. So long as he lives, the past refuses to die. And there's something thematically quite potent in that, I think. If history is a cycle yearning to turn, then Radahn is a set of very heavy brakes. The poem Ozymandias, though, isn't necessarily the only literary reference that Radahn is operating and interacting with. The fact that he is a colossus without feet, for example, seems like a fairly explicit gesture towards the feet of clay idiom. In the Bible, there is a story where a great king dreams of a magnificent colossus with a head of gold, a chest of silver, thighs of bronze, and feet of clay. And the prophet Daniel interprets the king's dream as a warning that his glorious kingdom, the colossus, shall be toppled by a fundamental weakness in its foundations. Which, think of the way that the Golden Order falls to pieces the moment one single demigod gets a knife stuck in his back. Another literary allusion seems to live in Radahn's poor horse, Leonard. Now, Leonard is, all things considered, doing an astonishing job as a steed and companion, but he also seems to me like an even more explicit reinforcement of this theme of great things being carried by unstable support. Because Radahn, on his poor horse, is funny. It's funny to the point of being cartoony. It is a remarkably silly image to see this towering giant carried along by a horse 3 times smaller than he is. It's ridiculous. It is genuinely very sweet that Radahn mastered gravity magic just so he could make himself light enough to ride Leonard around, but as we see in the intro cutscene, it's also just not sustainable. Radahn is an embodiment of a glorious past being hobbled around by a horse that simply cannot carry him, and that is quite quixotic. In the novel Don Quixote, a nobleman named Alonso Quijano goes mad from reading too many books and novels about knights and chivalry. He becomes delusional and obsessed with living a chivalric fantasy. He starts to see prostitutes as courtly ladies, tavern keepers as castle lords, and windmills as vicious giants that he must defeat. He sets out on an ill-fated adventure on the back of his old, skinny, tired nag of a horse, Rocinante, who struggles to carry and endure him. Don Quixote is yet another story that touches on the foolishness of holding on to Golden Ages past, and the pathos and tragedy that comes from losing yourself in those fantasies. And Don Quixote himself is one of the most famous figures in all of literature, and so it becomes very difficult for me not to see at least something of Don Quixote and Rocinante in Radahn and his poor, faithful Leonard. As a final note, it's easy to design a character who's meant to stand in for something that you want to denigrate and ridicule or criticize. For example, Godric, as we discussed, is a body horror parody and rejection of the idea of kingship. He's this pathetic little figure consuming the bodies of his subjects to empower himself. Something that's a lot harder, though, is to design a character who can at once both embody the actual glory, the greatest accomplishments of a system of power, and who can stand in as a symbolic reflection of its failures. Elden Ring manages to walk that line in Radahn, I think. On the one hand, he is a pathetic, tragic, and vaguely ridiculous figure, riding his tiny horse across ruined sands, eating corpses and howling with no feet on his legs. But on the other hand, you can see how once he was glorious. He may have been the greatest general of an oppressive regime, but he was clearly impressive, genuinely accomplished, imposing, powerful. And the fact that he learned his gravity magic not just for the glorious feat of holding back the stars, but also to spare the back of his beloved horse, who he kept as a companion, not because Leonard is particularly useful, but just because he loves him. You can see both the monster and the man in Radahn, both the conquering tyrant and the big, sentimental, gentle giant. You can see how someone would be swayed by that, impressed by him. You can see just a little bit how he might convince someone to believe in empire. The Golden Order is a parasitic, oppressive regime that very directly led the world to the devastation and rot that is now killing it. But the Order didn't rise for no reason. People saw glorious demigods doing incredible things and believed in them, and you still get just a glimmer of why they did that in the figure of Radahn. So, if Percy Shelley's Ozymandias is this dire reminder that all monuments, no matter how glorious, must eventually perish under the incremental erosion of history, then Elden Ring's Radahn is a rebuttal that no, actually, monuments stick around, and they can hold the world back while they linger. You can't sit around just waiting for them to crumble on their own. You have to go and make them. And that's another episode of the Boss Designs of Elden Ring. I cut over 2 hours of footage out of this episode, which, as always, you can find unedited on the Let's Play channel. Although, fair warning, quite a lot of it is just me running around in Limgrave, failing to find Alexander, and getting a lot of wolves dropped on my head. Since I am now once again out of Elden Ring footage, that means it is time to stream. I will be recording for the series one of these upcoming weekends, as soon as I can find the time, and I will be streaming right here on this channel. So keep a lookout for that. I'll try and schedule it ahead of time, and I would love for all of you to come along. It's a good time, generally, and I really do enjoy playing the game with a bunch of people screaming silently where I can't see them at every mistake I make. Now, if you'll permit me to get a little personal for a second, the start of the year has been a kind of a rough time for me on a personal level. I've had a health scare, one of my cats got lost for a bit, he's back home now, it's fine, and ADHD has been really kicking my ass. I think it's a late-stage winter depression or something hitting me. So getting this episode done has actually been a big relief for me, and I am very grateful that you are all willing to wait for so long between each of these videos. Thank you very much. Now, business. I need to advertise something to you, but I think you might like it. There's a new design on the merch store, and it looks like this. It is my dear hunter giving you the gentle encouragement that you need to carry on. The art is by Monoflax, who I've commissioned before, and it is available on shirts, mugs, buttons, prints, and of course, on stickers, so you can give that encouragement to anyone else who might need it as well. Even more relevant to this series, by the way, there's also a new design of the wolf, providing you with that encouragement as well. This art is by Swagginmun, who's the same artist who created the Get Good animation for this series, and once again, you can have it on shirts, mugs, buttons, prints, and stickers. Anyway, Patreon, you can sign up for it if you want. You can give me a one-time tip on coffee if you want, and I appreciate that help a great deal. However, I'm also doing pretty okay right now, and if you have extra money lying around that you don't need, I'd like to encourage you to consider donating to Doctors Without Borders or the Palestinian Children's Relief Fund instead of sending it to me. Even a little bit of money can do quite a lot of good in those capable hands. Thank you, as ever, for your time and your attention. Remember to be kind to one another. Have solidarity with those who are struggling, and may the tides of history wash gently over us all.